Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is defined as one's ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions. And for most people, it's more important in attaining success than IQ. Parenting expert Denise Daniels is here to talk about the importance of teaching these skills and share simple strategies to build the fundamentals of feelings, like how to manage meltdowns, teaching a vocabulary for feelings, and encouraging expression through dance, music, and art. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Chris.
Can you explain to us a little bit more about what emotional intelligence is and why it's more important than having a high IQ?
Well, it's great to have a high IQ. I'm not knocking that at all, but IQs are pretty much fixed at birth. They may vary a little bit, but emotional intelligence is something that can grow throughout a lifetime. And what that means is it's really the ability to understand and express and recognize your own feelings, but also to understand the feelings of others. And so we believe that so many times people don't communicate how they're really feeling. They don't feel congruent. We know that kids are coming to school unprepared. There's a staggering statistic that upwards of 30% of kindergarten teachers report that kids are coming to school lacking the necessary emotional and social skills to be successful. So we know that if we can start teaching these kids these skills in early childhood, it's so important because a child's world is saturated with emotions.
Now, research shows that children with a high EQ are likely to be more successful in the classroom. And share some simple strategies to start building those fundamentals of feelings at home.
Sure. Well, there's so much we can do at home before our child even gets to school. We want to create an atmosphere in our home that's conducive to a child feeling that they can express themselves honestly and openly. We want to use feelings words. We want to be sure that we are modeling healthy emotional behavior. What does that mean? It means if you're feeling sad or you're angry or happy, share those feelings with your child. Tell them why you're feeling that way and how do you resolve it. One of the things we do with kids in our books and with our toys is to say, you know, if you're feeling sad or upset, take a deep breath, then count to 10, and before you know it, you'll feel better again. There's simple ways that parents can share, we call the moodster moments, share ways and kind of just give them informative tips about how they can handle their feelings. Because we tell kids there are no right or wrong feelings, all feelings are okay.
Now, you mentioned the moodsters. Who are the moodsters and what led you to create them?
I'm so glad you asked that because the moodsters are 5 lovable little detectives that go on top secret missions and they solve mood mysteries. They've got human friends and they jump into their world and help them process their feelings. I created it really because there was an overwhelming unmet need to be able to help parents have tools to connect with their kids emotionally. We had already used one of the tools in children's hospitals in a program I developed called First Aid for Feelings for Pfizer Pediatrics. My background is pediatric nursing as well. And so I was working with kids that were enduring complicated medical procedures. And what we learned is that kids that could talk about their feelings before they had these procedures required less pain medication and sustained shorter hospitalizations. So we really knew we were onto something. And then I decided, well, we've got to make some toys out there for kids that will facilitate their emotional learning and teach them the fundamentals of feelings. And that's really what we're doing with the Moodsters, is teaching kids how to recognize their feelings, how to understand them, giving them a vocabulary or language for what they're feeling, and helping them be able to express feelings in a healthy way, but also being able, you've probably heard the term regulate or manage their feelings in socially appropriate ways.
So Denise, where can our viewers go to get even more information?
If any parents need information, they can go to themoodsters.com, and the toys will be available at target.com and in Target stores.
All right, Denise Daniels, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Chris.